Oh.
Siema, Kewin.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, how are you?
Once again, I did not expect this sudden entry. I was kind of expecting us to pop in on the biggest drop of the music.
I'm still learning how to do that.
No worries, we have plenty of time. Plenty of time. So yeah, good to see you. Good to see you.
So
what
listen.
have you been up to?
So I've been doing some React Native projects over the past week, and I've been reading some news, and this is a good time of the week to talk about it, right? What are you drinking?
I believe so. Whiskey. No,
Yeah, this is a whiskey
just,
glass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a whiskey glass, but it's just a Pepsi.
Okay, let's do this. You talk some more about what this live stream is all about, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna remove my headphones and listen to our audio so that we know that we are coming loud and clear.
Solid preparation. So, for those who are joining us right now, hi, welcome. Good to see you here. Good to hear you here. If you want to interact with us in any way, feel free to comment, whether you are on YouTube's, on Twitches, or on X's. All of the comments, we can see them. So if you want to participate in this conversation, in the stream, feel free to comment, because it's not just a show where we review and check out the newest stuff from React Native world. It's also a conversation, and it's a place where we can have a little bit of fun. So it's not a scripted presentation. It's not a scripted event. It's just Łukasz and me having a bit of fun, learning on the stream. So if you want to learn about something together, post about it, make a comment with maybe with a link, maybe with a most def not scripted. So feel free to say anything and at any time, and we will see that, which is quite an amazing technology, don't you think?
Yeah, like I got used to it already. I've been doing those kind of things for a while now. As you know, I host our podcast, React Universe on Air podcast. Just today, I was editing one of the podcasts. What are we going to learn today? That's a nice question, actually.
And that's a very good question.
Yeah.
So most importantly, we will check out the newest React Native newsletters to see what has been changed, what's the newest thing out there. We are trying to focus on the bleeding edge of technology and bleeding edge. Why did you laugh at that? Why did you laugh at that?
Yeah, because like this is not scripted. So honestly, I don't know what we're going to learn. But like I'm learning.
Usually we are like moving around the newest stuff. So if something changed and it's new, we are trying to check it out and play with that. So that's the bleeding edge of technology.
Yeah, the bleeding edge is us reading documentation, bootstrapping a new project.
Yeah.
And for today,
did you prepare
I was
already
thinking,
the project?
Exactly. This is what I was trying to say.
Nice.
For today, we'll just use the last week's project.
Amazing. That's
yeah.
great.
I have my console already in that Skia project from last week. So if we want to add something to it, we'll just add it on top of that Skia library.
Or clean out the Skia, make a main commit of that, and then we can make separate branches for each project. So we can have, like instead of making separate repos and separate projects, we can just jump from branch to branch. It will be quite helpful. But Amanjit, is there anything you would like to learn about today?
What do you think? What do you think, guys and girls on the stream, is like the best thing to start this live stream on? Like, what do you find interesting in React Native space?
I can start by showing you a dice. I found this dice on my desk. Yes, a dice. And I thought it's like totally, completely bullshit dice. That is just some random images on that dice. Mm-hmm. But today while I was like debugging and jumping the ideas from the depths of my brain into the code, I started like investigating this dice, and it actually has all of the numbers hidden in the images. So look, this is what's that?
That's either 3 or 1.
Oh wait. Well, yeah, that's oh okay. That's 1.
Okay.
That's
chicken wing.
no, that's a bag with 3 wrinkles.
This is overcomplicated.
That's actually a 5, and you need to be very attentive because this dinosaur has 5 teeth. And this is obviously 2.
Yeah, that's 2. I don't know why.
Well, this is a 6. That's the most
6.
obvious one. This was 1, 2.
That should be 4, right?
This is 4 exactly, and this was 5.
But honestly, this can be like whatever you want it to be.
Kind of, yeah.
Where do you get? Where did you get it?
I have no idea. This like I bet you also have a drawer full of like crap you found somewhere, you bought somewhere, you got from somewhere, like, you know, from those shops, everything for like $1 or stuff like that. So I have no idea where I got that, but like I have a bunch of weird stuff on my desk. Like that's my frog. And this frog has been on my desk for like 6 years now, I think. I even started giving her like random jewelry. So that's one of my dopest elements on my desk. And the frog is not by herself because she also has a turtle friend. I painted him myself.
Okay,
yeah, like,
let's jump into the newsletters. So I'm gonna share the screen.
You made a beautiful typo.
Yeah, I know. This is because so this is my better mic, and this better mic is obscuring my view of the keyboard. So it's harder for me to type, but also it's better that I use that one.
We can also talk about the most exiting thing. Are there any exiting things? I bet there are plenty of things that are exiting this week from React Native world.
Well, yeah, like actually Uni Styles 2.0 are exiting because we have Uni Styles 3.0.
I wouldn't say they're exiting then, they are more like being updated.
I actually looked at some of the documentation from Uni Styles. I actually want to play around with Uni Styles today. That is my plan. So that at the end of the stream we can add Uni Styles to the project. I haven't done it yet and play around with it. And like the excuse is because they just released Uni Styles 3.0. But yeah, let's start. I know that Mike is going to join us. If you're waiting for Mike, he will be here in some time and he will stay with us for some time. So
Amanjit commented, currently working in P2Me music streaming app similar like BitTorrent using it. Ooh.
Whoa. Okay, let's decipher this. So currently I am working on P2P, so peer-to-peer music streaming app similar to BitTorrent using a distributed table, DHT, I don't know what it is, and WebRTC for streaming between peers. Do you think it's going to work and going famous? That sounds like a niche.
So basically, if I understand
case.
correctly, let's say I have a music and I am deciding to share my music. I can send other people link to that music and they can listen it directly from me, so they don't have the file on their desk. So, I mean, on their drive. That's interesting, but Huh.
So DHT is distributed hash tables and commonly used in decentralized systems like BitTorrent to efficiently locate and connect peers without relying on central servers. Okay, so DHT is like part of peer-to-peer. Decentralized, but this is going to be like a piracy platform, isn't it?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
How is it not necessarily?
I mean, I can always create and share my own music, right? And now I will have way to share that without having like external providers like Spotify that basically is taking away a chunk of your possible revenue. The only problem I see, and like, of course, legality, because it depends on how people use that type of technology. But the second thing in my eyes would be monetization. How? So it would be only a way to, like, if I want to share my music, but I don't want to put it on Spotify or any other platform, I would like to share it myself. And maybe, just maybe, I'm simply being very naive right now. And what Łukasz said initially was correct thing, because I look at that from perspective of also partially a music creator, I mean, wannabe music creator. So that's how I think I would use that. But
this is definitely like a very good experimental idea to do that. Like, it's very good, let's say, platform for learning how to build those kind of apps. I've never done a peer-to-peer client, so like I'd love to like look at the project that does that. I'm not really sure that Amanjit is really looking to monetize it.
But
this seems like a proof of concept of some sort.
Yeah, but looking at it from other way, it's kind of like very fun technology, because like I like the idea of decentralized technology, decentralized like, you know, spreading around. Sorry, I'm trying to gather words. Like with the case of Spotify, let's imagine that Spotify would also have this technology. So now every person who's listening to music, if they check one thingy, they can also stream it to other people. So in theory, just like you, are you there? Oh, okay. Sorry, you froze.
Yeah, I'm just like listening to you.
Yeah. So like, for instance, you have this magical special tier on Netflix that you can watch commercials every now and then, and you pay less for the thing, right?
Amanjit, let's do this. Reach out to me on Twitter, and my Twitter is. Let me give you this. So. Share it with.
Yeah, like to be honest, I wouldn't like to set now a precedence of making this stream into a showcase of people's projects.
Yeah, we will not be showing that live.
But mainly the reason is that it even though it's not scripted, we still have a certain agenda, mainly of going through the newest technologies. So we would love to take a look at your presentation, and we would love to possibly schedule that as a discussion point next week. But for today, let's focus on like those bigger waves. Let's call them like that.
Yeah, so, let's do that. Let's start with this week in React. I know that Mike last week, and like every week, he is, let's say, pushing us to go through maybe not as many as we can, but like as many as is like valid for this live stream. So let's go over this newsletter. This is the best React and React
But
Native
if you
newsletter.
could schedule, Patrick pointed out an interesting talk point. Can you talk about legend state and its sync system?
Like on the spot? No.
I mean, not on the spot, but we could take a deeper dive later for that.
When
So
we can invite Jay, who is a creator of Legend State, to talk about it on the live stream.
Like right now?
No, not today, but like I can reach out to him, and talk about it.
Yeah, that would be
Well,
dope.
he did have
So I'm gonna put it as my point of interest for this stream. You said that you want to use Uni Styles for the app. In that case, I would like to use Legend State for the state.
Sure, but
unless I misunderstood what Legend State is, but I assume it's a state management, right?
Yeah, there's a state management from Jay, and I don't know his last name. What's Jay's last name?
Let me tell you, because Jay Maestrik.
Yeah. Maestrik. Yeah. So let's invite Jay for some other live stream, and let's go back to the actual newsletter. So this edition is prepared by Krzysztof and Kacper, both from Software Mention. Thank you guys so much for doing this, helping Sebastian curating this newsletter. And also, like, I went through it already, and so much good stuff in it. So let's start. And first of all, again, we have Mike Grabowski.
Random appearance.
Random appearance from Mike. And then we are also a sponsor of this one, because React Universe Conf is happening again in September, 2nd to 4th of September. And just, I think today or yesterday, organizers of this conference shared that we will have 2 additional speakers. And those are Mark Rusavi from Margello and Matt Peacock. No, it's not Pocock. Matt Pocock. He's going to have a workshop on the 2nd about AI, and also a talk on the React Universe Conf.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's something.
One day I'm gonna finally grow enough confidence, and I'm gonna send my. Hello, Mike.
Hello.
You enter without any music, without any like big and again, once again,
you have or what?
You have a completely different haircut.
I just came from the barber, so it's his creativity.
God damn! You should be like Mike. 47, Agent 47.
I think I will stop you right there.
So I was just saying that React Universe Conf is a sponsor of this week's edition of This Week in React. And also it was announced that Matt Pocock is going to be speaking at the conference this year. So I'm really excited about that. I've been watching his TypeScript videos for a long time. Recently, he moved on to making AI videos as well. And I guess his talk and his workshop will be about AI. Are you surprised, Mike? Did you know about that?
Yes,
I happen to AI.
I happen to have a little bit of a sneak peek beforehand.
Okay, cool.
Quick random question. Are you guys also having a bit of AI fatigue?
No, not yet. No.
Oh,
Why?
Okay. Just curious, just curious. I mean, like currently, because whether you were into 3D graphics, music, anything, and because I have like ADHD and I have too many interests and hobbies, like there is no topic I can escape from AI. Like everyone now mentions AI in every other video. So I'm starting to get a bit of fatigue. Like there is, if you would go into drawing videos, there will be some mention about AI and something about AI related stuff as well. Anything now has AI in it, so I'm starting to get a bit of AI fatigue. It's getting a little bit too everywhere, but it's fun technology nonetheless. So it's just everywhere now.
Do you want to talk about the latest improvements to Grok from XAI?
Uh, I wouldn't dare, I think.
Have you tried?
No, I actually I don't know what are the use cases of Grok outside of mentioning it in Twitter in X threads.
It also has a separate like chat. You can just open a window.
But is it any good outside of like using it inside X?
You know what? After seeing so many different metrics and different ways to measure the quality of AI, etc., etc., at the end of the day, the thing that is most important is the vibe check. So I've heard plenty of people like Grok after the vibe check. They like that it's very straight to you, like it doesn't try to be it doesn't try to moderate its answers in any way. I've heard that plenty of people like Claude for its like programming capabilities.
I don't even use it. I mean, I just use it through the coding for coding.
Yeah. I do the same. And me personally, I like the OG ChatGPT mainly because they have already like plenty of like memories gathered, and I customized the system prompt really nicely. So
that's the ecosystem though, right? So if you started using ChatGPT like a year ago, 2 years ago, it already has all of that data about you, and it can like go through it and help you write new posts and new articles and stuff like that with your own style and with knowledge about you. Perplexity doesn't do that.
I fell into the trap. You see, I'm a fan of personalized AI, meaning that the AI is answering to you in a way you like it to. Customizability in a way of.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think that I've been actually having a lot of fun with Grok for the fact it has quite a good coverage of what's going on right now in the world via Twitter, which is nice. Like I was using it quite heavily back when I was in Dubai right before the US strikes to get an idea of the chances of any weird issues or dangerous situations happening around me. It was pretty good with a lot of interesting insights from Twitter. But honestly, I would say my fatigue is mostly with the lack of determinism of the with these tools and like try coding native stuff with it. Like it's total it's totally so wrong, and I'm just so worried about like somebody using it. And the problem is, and there's been a few studies about it already, and I'm sort of starting to dig deeper into this subject as well. Is people just stop thinking at some point. Like I was tweeting the other day with the AI meeting notes. Like I've been working with few AI generated meeting notes as a totally standalone meeting notes without an actual notes. And then imagine you were talking with a client about React Native, and like there is no way, and it's so easy to bias it on like what is the actual issue, and it's just hallucinating a lot. And the problem I see is people relying on it like it's a person with brain without understanding um, the actual architecture. I mean, I think it has its strong points, but again, either we're totally wrong, or this is a massive bubble that once it bursts, it will be just a paradise to refactor legacy code bases between
To kind of
2026.
like to jump off what you just said, we had a discussion some time ago in my team. We were talking about the reanimated. We are talking about reanimated, and if AI would be helpful with writing stuff using reanimated, or actually any other library with like React Native, because the issue here is if you ask about some code, some suggestions about the code, some code autocompletion, it will give you the code autocompletion, but there are a couple of questions here. First is this the newest like way to write this code with React Native? Also, the biggest problem is that the AI will give you the code based on the probability of coming up with the correct order of the words, because that's how AI works, but it does not mean it understands how this code works underneath, how it's implemented. So it lacks the second layer of understanding of how this code interacts with the device it's being run on. So the code itself might be perfectly correct and perfectly fine, but once you change the implementation underneath to something else, it might break completely. And AI doesn't understand that there are a couple of layers of the code that is happening underneath, right? So I feel like AI will have huge problems with more abstract languages because of maybe not the abstract languages, but languages that are basically compiled and transpiled, and different versions might be implemented in a different way, because like retraining a model, like even imagine React Native and releasing new versions that can sometimes change dramatically how you write code. I'm not sure how fast it would be to retrain a model to understand the new approach, and even if it will know how to generate code for you, it doesn't mean it will understand that this code makes something underneath. But sorry for this sidetrack. I feel
we'll
like
get to the AI sooner than later. I'm planning to release the Apple on device support on Monday. Once I finish the tool calling and structured outputs, this will be fun, and then I think we might dive deeper into it, and we can talk about AI in general. I mean, it's just interesting. See, we don't have many downloads, and I mean, we have still a lot of time, because I think by the time the Apple on device ships, that will be September. So we still have time. Like, we didn't even clean up the README, Łukasz. If you go to Apple LLM folder in the top level, here is
I had a small heart attack because I thought it's Andriy Karpathy doing some code pushes. I was like, oh no, wow,
it's not as good. Yeah, so this is fun, but I have to write some content on why it is challenging, and it's pretty cool. I'm working on it with Shimon, and it's fun. Shimon is really cool. Like, he didn't want to work on this project, but I think I got him super excited. So it's not like just fully working on it, which is cool.
I mean, it's the future. It's something that I was also telling people when that was so annoying. You need when as a developer you need to look at how things change in a current moment, right? Not at the state things are currently, but at the rate of change, current rate of change. Because I remember when people were like, oh, AI is so dumb, it can't even properly render hands. I mean,
can I tell you something about the rate of change? Just last week in this live stream, we were discussing two different approaches of how to do native modules. So turbo modules from Core React Native and Nitro modules from Margello. Just 5 hours ago, Mike released Node API modules, the new the new way of doing native modules on React Native. But I guess, Mike, you don't want to talk about that this week. You want to like deep dive next week about it, correct?
Yes, I don't want to steal today's agenda with that, and for
Okay.
that release, I would like to invite Cran as well, that has been working on it. But yeah, I mean, it's a new module system, but not really a replacement, more of a parallel alternative for certain use cases. Um, we're always putting some interesting additional modules to the community. So it will be fun to dig deeper. I suppose that one will take around 2 hours because Cran will be
It's not
like,
in the newsletter yet because it was released
of
just like
course,
5 hours
that's
ago.
been tactically released the day after, so we can catch it later. The problem is next week
Also,
we're not gonna make the live stream on Thursday, right? Because we're busy with some other
yeah,
stuff.
we need to reschedule live stream to Wednesday probably.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We're not canceling it. We're doing
Oh
it.
yeah,
No, we are not
canceling.
canceling. This is weekly. We already said that this
Yeah.
is weekly, and
Oh yeah, we said
last
that
week.
already.
Yeah, last week at the end of the live stream, we had so many comments and so many people asking, "Hey, are you guys doing this like regularly or just like on the spot?" And so I decided, yeah, let's just agree that we are doing this regularly. So, back to the newsletter, Mike. Is there anything this week that you would like to talk about? I know that you have to drop from this meeting
No, I have half an
at
hour.
some
Let's
point.
roll. Let's roll. I think let's talk about the Vercel acquiring NuxtLabs. This is
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
I only seen it, and I mean, I've seen, I wouldn't say mixed feelings, but it seemed like some people were, like everybody was generally super excited, and some people were, I wouldn't say surprised, but kind of impressed by Vercel's governance of open source.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, have any of you guys read through it? And I would be curious to hear your thoughts about it.
So I haven't read through this announcement, but like I can give you some of my opinions from a few years ago. So Vercel has been vocal for years about them not being React only or like Next.js only. They are also like looking outside of like React and Next.js bubble. I think they hired, fuck, I forgot his name, but they hired a creator of okay, I'm not prepared.
It's in the article. You don't have to guess, Łukasz. Just read it.
No, but I'm not talking about this.
That's the reason.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about things that they've done months ago and years ago when they were hiring people from outside of Next.js, outside of React. So from Vue as well. So Nuxt is to Vue what Next.js is to React, correct? Yeah. So this enables you to do full stack development with Vue.js.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm opening the same thing on my second screen. Just so I could also skim through that.
So NuxtLabs, creator and stewards of Nitro and Nuxt, are joining Vercel. Nuxt, the full-stack web framework, is trusted by hundreds of thousands of developers and used by some of the world's largest companies with more than 1 million downloads every week. And Nitro is the server runtime built for consistency across frameworks, platforms, and workflows. It powers APIs, AI agents, and more. In many ways, Nitro does for web frameworks what the Open Container Initiative did for the containers, setting a clear, portable standards.
Wait, I'm a bit confused.
Why is that?
Oh, okay. I'm starting to understand. So basically, because I know that Vercel had Next.js with them for quite a long time. So now Nuxt.js is basically kind of like Next.js, but for Vue.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And because it's neat. Oh, so does Next also use Nitro servers?
Okay, I was talking about this. I was talking about Vercel hiring Rich Harris, creator of Svelte, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like year and a half ago. This
That
is
guy,
what I
that
was
guy.
referencing.
Okay, so what was the reference? Now that you remembered the
Yeah,
name.
reference was that like they were like hiring outside of React and Next.js before that. So they were open to other technologies like even before. Not this didn't start now. It started years ago. Yeah. And sorry, Rich Harris, for not remembering your name.
If you ever end up talking in person, I'll make sure to bring that up. Okay. So anyway, the news is they're doing that. To me, that's pretty. I wouldn't say normal standard. I mean, that's the Vercel's playbook. They're investing a lot in bright people, and I think that pays off with the great projects they do. I just had a chance to meet for the first time in my life 3 weeks ago. I think I met the creator of Webpack, Tobias, at a React Conf in Amsterdam, and he also works at Vercel on the TurboPack project. And yeah, I mean, it's interesting, exciting at the same time, and I think it's a nice environment to work with the bright people. And ultimately, I think for Vercel, it makes sense to have as many entry points for the community as possible.
Wait,
So,
TurboPack is also from Vercel?
of course.
Oh,
I think it's only for Vercel. Like TurboPack
TurboPack, Turbo
was
Ecos, yeah, it's Jared Palmer's project, and yeah, a few other projects.
wow.
And look who we got on the stream. The guy that maybe perhaps could join us one day as well. Although, is it a fake account, or why is this avatar totally not like he looks in person? Or maybe
why
this
is
not,
this avatar from 15 years ago?
is it? Or maybe it's just a different person than the Kuba I remember. You never know. Maybe
This
it's
is
just
not another framework though. Like this, like it just makes so much sense for platform company to invest in like all of the other open source frameworks, all of the upper open source technologies. They make money on on the platform, not on the open source solutions. So it makes sense to
yeah.
put their eggs into as many baskets, as many promising baskets as possible. Like a lot of people use Vue, a lot of people use Svelte, a lot of
Yeah.
people use React. So let's just make sure that Vercel tools work
So
as good as possible with all of those
Remember,
different
we tried
frameworks.
we tried doing Flutter as well, and we decided to change the course, but I think it's totally okay. I mean, it might sound quite strange at a first sight to realize that there is a parallel universe around a totally different framework than React from the language perspective that has its own equivalence of the things. I think the first time these two crossed paths was perhaps the Vite bundler, right? Which originated
Yeah.
from the Vue community, I think, and got really popular within React.
what do you think will be the third? Because Next is for React, Nuxt is for Vue. What will be for like Svelte?
Svelte already has one.
How's it called?
Svelte Kit.
Oh, okay. I was kind of hoping for like,
React Native Enterprise Framework.
yeah, the VCU Vercel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. So this is nice, and I mean, there's been many successful projects that just continued the development. So I think from the perspective of the project maintainers, this is cool. Let's move on, guys.
Yeah,
10
just like
minutes per-
my one last very controversial statement.
I don't know. Should we mute you?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I actually freaking like Vercel. Like every project
Why
I've
is
made,
that controversial?
I don't know, is it?
That's not controversial at all.
That's the fucking joke, Łukasz. It's not
Oh,
controversial.
okay.
Yeah, I actually like Vercel. Every time I want to start some project and I learn that some technology is from Vercel and I see this freaking triangle on the black circle, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be good. So yeah, I'm having
I don't
fun.
understand the joke, honestly. I'm not sure if you are like sarcastic right now, or are you for
No,
serious?
I like Vercel, and every time I see their logo in my tabs, because I usually have so many tabs open, I can see only the logos. I'm every time excited when I see their logo on the tab, and I actually very like that. Like that's why I was surprised that TurboPack is also from Vercel, because it looks like I've been using Vercel technology in most, if not all, of my projects since a couple of years now.
This one is really interesting. So it redirects to Reddit here, but it says surprisingly, Facebook uses the Hermes engine for server-side rendering. This is weird. This is like crossover episode or something
Quick
for me.
response to Hammond. What about new Glass UI iOS? We already spoke about Glass UI, I think, 3 weeks ago or
I
4 weeks
have the
ago.
latest iOS beta. I'm struggling myself.
Oh,
It's
I have only one iOS device that I'm currently using. I wouldn't dare to use beta on
I
that.
don't need it for my life. Like, just screw the mobile phones. Go offline, man. Why do you need
I
it? You
mean,
don't need it. You don't need
because
it. Let's be honest. You
I,
don't need it.
I have over
You don't need it.
320 days streak on Brilliant. I
What?
don't want to lose it. I
I
like
don't even.
Brilliant. That's an app for learning things.
Aha. Okay. Well, I know one guy named Chris who has a 5 year long streak, or maybe four, meditating. That's it.
Oh wow.
Perhaps slightly nicer offline type of thing, but you know. Anyway, the server side rendering with Hermes, that's interesting. I think for that one, it would be amazing to have Svetan join us one day. I noticed he's been, yeah, I mean, I just saw his post on Twitter and I figured it would be great to reach out to him one day and invite him to talk about it. But this is quite a interesting information. So what does it say, Łukasz, for those who've missed it?
So it says that there are two kinds of React to serve, static JS and dynamic HTML JS. For static JS, Meta compiled the files using Bubble and bundles them using an in-house bundler called Make Haste.
Okay, spin-off of modules, I guess.
And then for dynamic JS, Meta serves dynamic web content using Hack HHVM.
Yeah.
Server-side rendering is done using Hermes engine. And like this is surprising for me because like Hermes is dedicated for mobile and it is let's say famous for producing this like bytecode and not the standard JavaScript bundle for transpiling, right? Not transpiling, for
Yeah, like the proprietary button
executing.
format that it only can execute, right?
Oh
Yeah.
wait,
So
what?
how would it like make sense to
It's
server
optional.
side render with it?
It's optional.
Yeah, I know, but like that's the like the biggest gain from Hermes, as far as
Well,
I know, is this
don't.
bytecode.
There is also static Hermes, and you know, I can imagine like this is meta, so we have to think outside of the box. This is probably not a typical server-side rendering setup that we have. What I'm thinking might be happening here, and that might be pretty useful, is maybe they're using some sort of a combination of pre-compiled bytecode bundles that describe majority of the routes, and then they need to load them quickly and customize on the fly with something additional.
What
I'm
do you
just shooting.
think would be like just like shooting from the hip? what would be the reason for that? Would it be like
Speed,
because speed?
performance.
But do you think, is there a possibility that it's also for like backward compatibility? Because let's face it, Facebook, it's not a new platform, it's quite old, so I bet they have a bunch of tech debt, meaning that a bunch of their servers, etc., are written in less than bleeding edge technology. So maybe it's a way for to being able to use the newest technology while also making it compatible with like older servers. I'm just shooting from the hip because
That's a bunch of assumptions, right?
yeah, of course it is. That's what I'm saying. That's why I started with like that's a bunch of assumptions. But
Honestly,
it just sounds like
from what I assume as well, I don't know anything. Like I know a few people from Meta, but we don't talk about like what is their internal stack. But like comparing companies like Amazon, Meta, and Google, like I feel that Meta is the most bleeding edge from whatever I can read. Like they created Hermes, they created React, they created React Native. So like, and in React Native over the past few years, Meta was on the forefront of like actually making the new architecture, right? And like we also know from like public sources that their internal stack for React and for React Native is widely different from open source stack that we all use. They don't use any external libraries. So if you imagine our like standard React Native app, how much open source we use, you need to imagine that all of that is replaced internally. Not replaced, but they have their replacement for all of that functionality internally.
Yeah, but
for
what
their
I mean,
tool
what I
chains.
mean, and also to kind of respond to Jakub, he asked why would it make sense to use this kind of setup for legacy servers, because I bet that there are a bunch of like legacy code that is basically a beating heart of the whole operation, and nobody even dares to touch it. And like using this type of technology would allow you to write using more abstract languages or more abstract, higher level languages that's like newer technology, and then have a way to basically compile that to be compatible with tech written in C++, PHP, or anything like that. So yeah, I'm just wondering because I'm like this is kind of a privilege of a person who likes to play around with the code, and like we overall work with more startups, etc. So I'm more used to technology that you just take freshly out of the box, right? Like Expo and like setting up the project with the newest dependency and newest stuff. So when I see a tech stack like that, like not everything clicks in my head, but it might be also because I don't have that much experience with multiple different tech stacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in terms of Meta, what actually surprises me is the fact they actually use Hermes outside of React Native, and the surprise doesn't really come from the fact that it is by any means worse or at least performant than V8 or JSC. What makes me interested in this is just the internal dynamics of how Meta operates. And again, I can only base this on the discussions I had with a couple of people, but there's a lot of teams, and they don't really have one way of doing things. So many times the technology choices are made by totally diverging teams, and the teams just have different priorities or needs. And that's why at Meta, you see applications like Threads being launched natively, iOS and Android. And at the same time, you see perhaps some other, like the marketplace, being launched with React Native. And it doesn't mean the React Native is not successful. It just, was not chosen by that team for whatever reason. Maybe it was their familiarity with the tech stack. You have to keep in mind that there's been a lot of acquisitions over time at Meta, and when you acquire a company with a strong culture, say Instagram perhaps, and they have their own engineering religion and approach, I wouldn't be surprised if they were continuing their path of just delivering what they already had working in place. So I'm totally not surprised that Hermes is using React Native, right? Because it's been made specifically for those low latency startup time solutions. But that should really point us towards why they perhaps decided to use it on the server as well. Like when you really want to spin up something. And it's interesting because we don't really use Hermes on the edge, right? Like all the like we have Dino and
But
we have
how about
but
Mike?
like I wonder what would it be if we had Hermes under the hood running in that edge environment, right? In the cloud.
How about the fact that they just have control over it? That they have like the team that is able to, I don't know, fix their bugs or implement the features they want for server-side rendering. And all of those other engines don't have that advantage. So even though Hermes was initially created for something else, they have control over it now. It's their own engine, so they can like push it in the direction they want.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just as
totally
simple as
right.
that, right?
You're totally right. But what I'm saying is the use cases they decided to go with are exactly the use cases that are needed on the backend. That's why they're using it. No other option.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, they could perhaps mess around with JSC or V8 for that reason. But since they're not using Node.js on the server, but they're using Hack, it means they already have to pull a JS engine to render the JavaScript part. And appears that this is probably super highly optimized, just like the haste module system, just like Metro, for the use cases they have. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's a surprise just because we don't really know much about their infrastructure
Yeah.
as we perhaps would like to, because we're all curious. But it's
Yeah.
not a
It's
surprise.
also
I can
like
tell you
what
that
is surprising is that someone is writing as a like ex-meta engineer here and just like spilling the beans, right? Like just talking about it in public. Because like the experience I have like talking with someone like Nico Corti from Meta, from like Android React Native team, sometimes he would be very hesitant to share the information because like many of that like internal Meta Facebook stuff is like proprietary, right? Like it's a like a trade secret almost or something.
all I can tell you is that like my question and my point of view is also from when I started work. I was working with a bigger company that was on the market for over 20 years, and they started working on the new version of the product that was supposed to be web-based, and the previous one was desktop-based. And for I think 3 years, like it's unimaginable amount of work to integrate those two technologies together in a way that's not only compatible but also fast and like that will handle amount of users that will be using that. And it was just amazingly huge task to do, and it wasn't really that huge of a product. So now imagining Facebook that was built with so many years ago with technology they had available, it's really hard and complicated to change. Like there is a reason why so many banks are still using COBOL.
Kewin, but you can't like really compare banks or like the company that you work with to Meta. Like Meta famously rewrote their whole infrastructure like 3 different times or whatever. Like if you watch the React.js documentary, like how they rewrote Facebook in React, like even that, it shows you that this is an engineering company, like the technology company, and like it is a product company, but like the core of the people are working on technology there to make sure that that product is delivered consistently and like fast to billions and billions of users. So like they rewrote that product several different times, like all parts of it. There is nothing in that product that Mark wrote in like 2002. Not one line of code. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, but like it would be surprising to see that, right?
If you work at Meta, send us a screenshot from Git Blame.
Sorry,
yeah, that would be.
It's not gonna be Git. It's gonna be Fabric.
That they are not actually using Git as well. Like they are using their own monorepo. They are using their own version control.
Okay.
Exactly.
In the chat, there was a question about turbo repo. What is that? But I guess that people already kind of responded.
Yeah, we have Kuba Urban who used to work at Callstack and who used to host our podcast as well. Just like chiming in and answering people's questions. So thanks you, Kuba, so much.
Yeah, it's really helpful. We're looking for community moderators as well. So, guys, I have 3 minutes before my next meeting starts. So I will leave you for half an hour, I'm guessing, and I'll be back. Hopefully
We'll try to behave.
Around. Hopefully you were able to make some progress. Considering the pace of going through this newsletter, I think we might need to be more strategic about how we analyze it. But
we are learning every week, Mike.
Yeah,
how to do this better.
From my perspective, as long as we do it, that's already good enough. We'll get a very small group of fans to start with, and that will be fun. Cool, guys. I'll be back. I'll just remove myself. And you guys continue.
Thanks a lot. See ya later.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
You know what we would need?
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
Like,
okay. I mean, I'm going.
Oh, that was a short break.
not really. I mean, yeah. Okay, I'm going. Bye.
We would need like something like name tags here.
The what?
Name tags.
Underneath your profile picture?
No, underneath your profile. Mine can be underneath your profile picture and you're underneath my profile picture, just for clarity.
I think we had that. We had that at some point.
Oh, so you broke it. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. It's like, honestly, it's like pretty hard to navigate on the StreamYard.
No worries. I'm just trying to chip in with the ideas.
So what else? What next do you want to talk about?
Expo is working on a solution for handling modals and sheets. I was never able to pronounce that in a proper way.
Sneak peek. My team and I at Expo are cooking our mission: beautiful iPhone-like modals and sheets with great defaults and lots of optional config for web. It's cooking something with native too, with anchoring, history support, and nesting. Okay, that's cool.
That's great, because that's one of the biggest issues I usually face with React Native. Not really well-performing bottom sheets and models. Like, I always have problems with them. With like nicely animating them and performance and weight.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different like community libraries that do that, right? And like it's really hard to pick the one that's
yeah,
that
like I was never able to find fast a solution that I needed. It's always looking around, and then always landing with the same solution that I'm not really like fully satisfied with, but it's good enough. Okay. Shadow inset support? What? That's amazing.
Can you explain why?
Because like React Native wasn't supporting inset shadows for the longest time. I know. So every time you wanted to have a button or like anytime you got a Figma design with anything that had inset shadows, I was already sweating because
you would either use elevation on Android that doesn't actually does exactly that. Or what I would do, and that was like years ago, was to use
SVG?
SVG, which
Yeah.
is not performant at all
Oh
in
yeah.
this like use case.
Especially on an Android.
Yeah.
So like it always required some sort of a trick because for some reason, UI and UX designers, they love their inset shadows. They just love those. And every button, every screen has to have some inset shadows. And the problem is, it's really hard to explain to designers that, well, we can add the inset shadows, but it will be hard for the app to, like, it will be complicated. But all they hear is, oh, so you can implement inset shadows. That's great. So yeah, sorry, I weirded out myself right now. I never expected.
I can try it
me
out.
to-
I have the project with Expo 53, and Evan says that it
Nice.
works for 52 plus. So let's just try it out.
I never expected myself to get so excited about inset shadows. I think it kind of shows how this industry impacted me throughout the years. Levi says that designers think we are dumb. I not necessarily. My wife
Well-
is a designer, and it's kind of like this. I feel like designers think that programists are kind of lazy, or like they don't want to just come up with the new code, etc. Oh yeah, Jakub says that the QA thinks that programists are dumb, and that would be more likely. I think that in this industry, nobody thinks that anyone else is dumb. Sometimes people make dumb and weird decisions.
Well,
but
it's not about being dumb. It's always about communicating. So if you get
People-
a designs that will not work with your product, like sorry, not like, I'm not saying like work visually. To work visually, this is a designer's job. But to work at all and work performantly, this is your like team lead job, your developer's job to
but usually
go
the
back
problem
to
is-
the product and to designers and say, this will not work for us because we are working on React Native, I don't know, 060 or whatever. We don't use those kind of shadows here because in order to develop them, we'd have to go to the native side. We'd have to do a lot of workarounds.
And you just lost
or maybe
everyone.
this will not be performant at all. So we cannot deliver this design in this form.
you know
this is
what's the
about
problem?
communicating always.
Yes, I understand. You know, I'm 100% behind you in this case. But the problem is, the inset shadows seem like a really bullshit thing to have a problem with. Like you
Why?
try, like, no, come on. Imagine you are trying to explain to somebody, like, yes, we completely can have shadows, but shadows that are inside the button, that's totally above the project scope. We cannot handle that in a performant way. It just sounds so ridiculous.
Well, it's about communicating, right?
But what you I have no idea how you could communicate that without sounding ridiculous. All I could hear is that, so if I would be a designer, I would like, so shadows are okay. Yes, the shadows are okay. But inset shadows are not, no, inset shadows, no, not performant, hard to make. We require plenty of hacks. So the same shadow placed a couple of pixels above is unachievable. Yeah, exactly. You got me. So let's change those designs. Sorry, it's just, I know that maybe it's because of my tone currently, but it's just, it sounds ridiculous.
Well, I don't.
It sounds so
No.
ridiculous. I started shining. I need to change the lights.
It's all
Much better.
about communication. Okay, so what do? I can maybe do this. Align center. Right, so hello would be... Why is
See,
hello on the right?
Jakub is, I'll give you time for setting up the insets, and meanwhile I will respond to comments. Jakub says that in his first errand project, the whole design was based on inset shadows, and he didn't know back then that it's hard and almost impossible to achieve. And they had to redo the designs, and designer was pointing it out for months that it was a problem. And Levi says is because to who is not technical, probably they think it's a simple thing because there is in a lot of places. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It sounds like a thing that shouldn't be a problem. Like, you know, today I found another ridiculous problem I've never seen. I had a font that just one letter of that font had a different line height. So when you had a list with A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and when there was a C, it had a bigger line height, and because of that, the rows were not exact height. I know about stuff like monospace fonts that every letter had the same width, but with the line height, to be honest, I didn't really solve that issue. I think I'm gonna be asking for a different font or something like that. Yeah, like Jakub says, like we can do animations, navigations, sick designs, but an inset shadow, that's a problem. And it just, sorry, but it sounds ridiculous. And I see that.
Okay, Kevin, I'm stupid like that. Align content. Well, look at this. So I have, what's wrong with this picture? I want to center a div.
Yes.
And align items.
I usually do that in a way like that. I do, because I use cursor. Oh, you have cursor as well. I write center.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you so much.
I write center, and I just fill every center until it pops to the center, and then I remove the rest.
Okay, so now what we could do is we can go to this, and then we can do box shadow.
Oh, I'm kind of excited. But with centering a div, I can point out another problem, and I bet in the comments people will have a similar issue. If I would tell you a month, for instance, July, would you instantly know which month number it is?
6.
Is it?
7.
Ah! But did you do in your head January, February, March?
No, what I did was I cut so I know that June, July is 6, 7, and I started in half. I didn't start counting from 1. I started counting from 6, but it was the wrong one.
But do you also know the trick how to figure out if a month has 31 or 30 days?
I don't know.
There is a trick with counting on your knuckles. January has 31, then January, February has low, high, low, high, low, high, and we go from the again from the other side. Yeah, that's a trick.
Kewin, help me out here.
Yes.
To try out this.
Yes, it should be working. You.
But it doesn't, right?
Wait, you put the box shadow with the color the same as the view.
Well, I can do it.
Yeah, do
here.
Pink.
And it doesn't work.
No, come on. Why? you added box shadow. You added inset. You passed all of the parameters correctly. It's going left, top, right. Oh yeah. There is inset shadow from the right side. Or no, you added border. Never mind.
No, I just added border. I can make it green.
No, because that's going to
here.
be a box shadow. So you copied everything, right?
Yes.
Remove the background color. It's and the border while we add it. And the border width, yeah.
Doesn't work.
Are you sure we have a correct Expo version?
Well, Expo is 53.
It's 53. Show me the post, but and okay, multiple shadow, insert shadow. No, okay, box shadow, insert. It should be working. You copied everything, right?
Yeah, that's the same piece of code.
Oh wait, where is the view from? Can you get the
Native?
can you get the view from? I think Expo has also their own view.
Do you think so?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think. I mean, if they have their own image, etc., and gradients, maybe they have a view.
No, there is no view in Expo. In
No,
Expo view?
you double declared that. Remove the view from.
I don't think so, man.
Okay, I'm just trying to, I'm debugging on the spot. It's not that easy. Levi said, "Nice. I learned in this live how to know if." Oh, yeah. So if anyone knows why the box shadow is not working here, let us know, because I got very excited for the insert shadows, and I don't see any insert shadows here, and I'm very sad about that.
I don't know if I'm using a new architecture, honestly.
Should
I be using new architecture?
Should be turned on by default, but I'm not sure when we started the project. So yeah, in Expo config, in the config file.
Where's the config file? So for package for the start, I have the just Expo start. I don't have any. Okay, let's do this. It gives me the
elevation, yeah.
Yeah,
that's one of the problems we started with the AI and how it's going to impact writing code, right?
React Native introduced a new cross-platform box shadow property that works similarly to CSS. Okay. So it is in just React Native. It's not only in Expo SDK 52, man.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So did they say that they started supporting that because it? Oh yeah, check which version of React Native you have in your project then.
It should be also React Native 079. So this is the project like from 2 weeks ago that we were checking out the Evans like AI.
By the way,
app
Łukasz,
that builds apps.
Was I excited and I was pointing out news from the previous week? No. I opened the newsletter as well, and I can see the stuff that you had.
What do you mean?
I can see the inset shadow news. There is a... Okay, so hold on. We have a couple of nice active people. So, dear commentators, I'm gonna be going through the newsletter. If something interests you very much, scream in the comments and we'll stop for that. If something interests us very much, Łukasz, scream as well. I can scream as well.
I need to... Could you check if new architecture is enabled? How do I check if new architecture is enabled on Expo project?
There should be an Expo config file. And if you don't have an Expo config file, well, that's a problem. So, we already talked about NuxtLabs joining Vercel. That's very good news, very fun. We'll have Nuxt supported by Vercel. App.json file. There you should have that there.
So this is SDK 52, so all the new project app.json file.
There is a proposed change to Next.js to automatically generate types for all app routes, making them globally available without
Okay,
needing
so this
imports.
is not enabled.
The new architecture?
Yeah.
I mean, just because it's not declared, it doesn't mean it's not automatically turned on.
Well,
maybe
I think it is. Okay, so now I need to...
Levi, are you asking
Do it
us
again.
or about the PR from the Next.js? Because we kinda went two ways now. We're doing two side quests. So Next.js will have automatically generated types for all app routes. This would provide immediate type safety and ID auto-completion for page props and layout slots, which would help to catch routing errors early. Not gonna lie, I kinda thought they already had it, but maybe because I confused it with Expo. See, the issue with navigation is that there are so many different types of navigations to learn about and to know about that sometimes they got mixed up. At least that's my problem. And I still don't see a shadow.
Yeah, I don't see a shadow as well. Maybe it doesn't work in Expo Go?
Why? Oh.
Would it be the case?
But it doesn't have to go through Expo Go, I think.
Well, I can just as well. So let's do this. I'm gonna...
It's so anticlimactic. I really hoped for instant shadows.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's...
Jakub said that RN's docs say that it works only on Android 10. Inset shadows are only supported on Android 10 plus, but in post from Evan Bacon, he said that it's supported by iOS, by Android, and by web. Yeah, the box shadow props, multiple shadows.
Should we put a pin in that?
Yes, we can go back to it.
Maybe let's not debug it live.
So, continuing, there are two PRs to Next.js. There is a... Wait. Oh, I get it. I'm just dumb. I was looking at the wrong newsletter, I think. No, that's a good newsletter. What am I doing wrong, Łukasz?
I'm not sure what are you doing right now.
I was looking at. God damn. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see that there is that are separated the React part and React Native part. Ugh. But remember, we are going to play today with Uni Styles.
Let's do that.
Hammond sent.
But this is so the code that Hammond sent is like the old implementation. It's the old implementation for iOS that only works on iOS. That's the one that we've had since I remember. It's not the one that Evan is talking about. It's not the box shadow CSS kind of string.
That's a shadow trick.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. I need a short break. You can take over the screen share.
Oh, no. I'm completely not prepared for that.
Okay. So which news do you want to talk about right now?
Just leave them like that. And
no, you need to pick one.
One?
Yeah.
Introducing React Native RAG. That's my
retrieval-augmented generation library.
Yes,
what?
I'm gonna. Don't worry, I will explain that to lovely people in the comments.
Okay.
Okay, so
go ahead.
For it, yeah, you go P. So, first, what is RAG? Retrieval-augmented generation. Basically, in AI with LLMs, it's a technique where you can take bits of information. Let's say I have a document, right? Unless all of you are experts in RAG already and you don't want to hear about what RAG is and why you're excited about that. But assuming that you're at least a bit interested, let's say we have a document, right? I'm gonna even take a piece of paper. Let's say we have a document. That's our document. Do I have anything weird on that document? I'm not sure. Let me just find a clear document. That's a clear document, right? And we have a bunch of data, a bunch of information in that document. There are some personal details. There's some like bunch of data, right? Those scribbles are like parts of the document. It's a big document. Let's say that you would like to ask an LLM about some details from that document. Well, of course, with current technology, current LLMs and current huge models, it should be more than possible to just like plop this whole document into an LLM and it will find necessary data and it will respond to your answer correctly. But it wasn't an option like a year ago or 2 years ago, and it's not really an option with LLMs and AI models on smaller devices, on mobile devices, right? So with RAG, you can basically take this document and extract those smaller bits of data and then describe information in that bits with embeddings. So embedding is basically multi-dimensional vector. Like we have 2 dimensions, right? So imagine that those 2 dimensions are, for instance, height, and here it's width. Now we can add more dimensions, like age. Now we have 3 dimensions. And imagine that there are over 10,000 or 1,000 of those dimensions. So you can take bits of those information, extract them, and then embed information about them and put them in a database where an LLM can then quickly extract information, because math is quick and it's fast to basically calculate a new embedding. So an LLM can then quickly extract that information, take that bit of information, inject that into the system prompt or into the conversation, and you can talk about that part of the document with your LLM. So now what I saw and what I got excited is that on-device retrieval-augmented generation, what we talked about, the RAG library for React Native with seamless executor integration. This helps improve LLM responses with extra local knowledge. And I have a bunch of questions about that. So, does it mean that we can quickly embed data and then create local vector database to keep all of that embeddings and all of that data on device, or extract from already existing data? And this RAG library basically allows us to streamline the process of asking an external provider for embedding a question and then extracting something from the database. Sorry, Łukasz, I got a little bit maybe too technical.
No. Like I was listening to you. Can you maybe formulate this question in a text form, send it to me over Slack, and then like after each live stream, I'm doing a small Twitter thread on like what we discussed. So I'm gonna embed your question in that Twitter thread, and we're gonna mention Jakub Mróz from Software Mention directly, and maybe he can answer in the Twitter thread.
No, I think really no need, because I quickly scrolled down to. Oh, hello! So that's a library from Software Mention.
Yeah, it is.
I really like what they are doing. It's quite interesting stuff. So it looks like they actually create a memory vector storage with executor embedding, so they are able to embed stuff on the local device and then store it and use it with LLM.
Can you quickly summarize for me, like, what is the use case of this in 3 sentences?
Sure. So it's kind of, I would say, in a jokingly manner, it's kind of reinventing the wheel, because
use the pizza as an example.
Okay. So let's say you have a whole menu for restaurant, and there are like 100 pizzas, different pizzas, right? And you ask LLM about vegetarian pizzas. Because you are working on the mobile device, it can't really inject 100 pizza recipes, like pizza descriptions with ingredients and everything, right? It's problematic. So, but what it can do, it can first take the document, pre-process it, meaning it's going to split all of those many parts into separate pizza descriptions with its ingredients, embed it, meaning that it will basically make a multi-dimensional representation of those pizzas to simplify, let's say, a dimension of spiciness, of vegetableness, of doughness, of mushroominess.
Yeah.
like those, because we can't really reflect what those dimensions are. They are just calculated. So we name them for our convenience, not for an actual fact. And then when you ask a model, tell me about pizzas, vegetarian pizzas, instead of injecting and taking this whole menu, it can just take embed our question. So from our question, it will figure out that our question is about vegetarianness and vegetableness of pizza, and it will extract only the pizza descriptions that match this little blob that it created. Imagine that
cool.
as a
But like this is the description of how LLM works.
yes,
Honestly, like just the dimension, like the
yes,
tensors of dimensions, vectors of dimensions, blah blah blah. I
yes.
don't really
It works on
understand
it
the
works on
RAG
this-
part of it.
It's called retrieval-augmented generation because let's like separate it into separate words. Retrieval, because LLM can embed your question and retrieve, right, stuff. Augmented, because it takes the retrieved information and injects it into a system prompt or any other part of the conversation, and then generates response for you based on that augmentation it retrieved from the database.
So it's basically just
it's a way
like
to,
an improvement layer on top of like regular LLM
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, and the problem is because I think I interrupted myself when I was telling you that this problem doesn't exist anymore with like current LLMs. Like you can send every menu of every restaurant in your city to an LLM, and it will find a correct information, most probably.
Yeah.
But if you want to run LLM on your local device, you won't get a model that will be powerful enough to extract information so efficiently. So providing it with a huge document will
So this is
completely
just
break
an
the quality.
optimization. Okay, I understand. So RAG is an optimization
It's a
step
technique.
is a technique for LLMs for
Yes,
it to be able
it's
to
just
provide you with the proper answers on like less powerful machines.
Yes, it's a technique to like make your LLM work faster, better, more performant, have a better quality of conversation. But it's not just that, because now going a little bit more abstract, because it can work, of course, with LLM, sure. But now imagine kind of a different scenario, right? What if you would run this RAG on your messages, on your photos, right? So imagine you run your photos and you embed information about them, something like, I don't know, sunniness of that photo and familyness. And you extract information from that, and you can then ask, like, show me pictures of like my cat, and it will extract the cattiness information and the IDs for that pictures, and it can show it to you. Because like RAG, it's a name created because of LLMs, but overall a way to embed data into vectorized form, that's a very powerful technique. And because you basically can embed every information you want. And it kind of changes the way you think about database, about storing information, about retrieving information, because like now you don't have to provide exact data or exact strings that match the thing you require. You only need to it's a very abstract way of working with data, because it requires you to understand like multi-dimensionality of information. And
yeah, like if you look at my screen right now, the vector databases were like really the topic was really popular a few weeks ago or a few months ago because of LLMs, right? So like we've had like a bunch of different startups in this space like doing vector databases because of how easy it is to filter out, to search through like dimensions specifically for LLMs purposes.
Yes, sorry I got so heated, but as I said, that's why I'm getting the AI fatigue, because I did plenty of deep dives about AI for over a year, quite a long ago, and now that I'm tired of the topic, everyone starts talking about that. So I see that suddenly everyone stopped talking in the comments. So I'm really sorry if I put you to sleep with
Let's talk about Uni Styles. Let's talk about Uni Styles now.
Sure. Yeah, let's.
So Uni Styles, I read up about this today a little bit, just a little bit, and this is like a style sheet replacement. Like basically all it is a style sheet replacement. Like not all it is, but like the API is very similar. So it is, I think Jacek, who is creator of this, he said that the Uni Styles are to style sheet what TypeScript is to JavaScript. So it's like a superset of style sheet.
So okay, let's. Łukasz, are you into cosplay?
No, not at all.
Oh, come on. let's play pretend. Sell me Unistyles. I'm kind of interested. I would like to have some library to maintain and to figure out like nice way of like maintaining styles in my app. I'm thinking about different solutions. One of them is Unistyles. Why would I be interested in that?
So with Unistyles you can do this, right? So you can still use the familiar API of style sheet, just like import it from this other package. But also there will be some things added on top of this that you don't get in regular style sheet by default.
Okay.
So you will get, for example, media queries. You can set background color based on not only background color, but you can set property of your style based on media query. So like how wide is my screen, etc.
Okay, so you see, usually in projects without Unistyles or any other library of the type, I would most probably make a function that creates a style and pass some sort of width finder or anything like that will basically calculate what style to apply in which moment.
Exactly. So in regular style sheets, what you would do is you would create a bunch of helper functions yourself, and then you will sprinkle them around your code base. Some of those would be in components as hooks. Some of those would be in like style templates or whatever. What Unistyles gives you is like a simplified API, so you can set all of that in very structured way in one place in your code base. So for example, you can create variants, meaning that you will have variants of your styles based on something that you can then like apply.
Okay.
What you can do, it works also on the web. It would give you, where is the I think like one of the things that, okay, let's read this. When to use Unistyles. So it is new architecture.
Before we go through that, I'm quite curious. Lovely people in the comment, have you used Unistyles? Do you recommend it? And maybe what's your biggest beef or problem with Unistyles? I'm quite curious of your point of views because I've never used it, so I'm quite convincible right now, and Łukasz can sway me easily. So I'm very curious of your opinions. Please let me know in the comments If you heard about it, if you didn't, also tell me, because I know that I heard about Uni Styles, but I always used other alternatives. And I heard that Uni Styles are quite fun. And now, Łukasz, back to you, going through the more interesting points.
Jacek says that the Unistyles 2.0 is sunsetting. So this is a good segue to something that we said in the beginning of the episode.
Exiting.
So what is exiting in React Native?
Yeah. Levi said, I think the best thing in Uni Styles is because this updates style in native layer, so it's more performant and easy to use.
So it says right here that this is a game changer for performance because your app can update without triggering any re-render at all. So the styles are taken from native side and not from JavaScript side. So if you change the style or whatever, it doesn't trigger a re-render on React side because it is changed, the color or whatever is changing on the native side.
So
similarly to how Reanimated works, right?
So how would it work with Reanimated?
Well, it does work with Reanimated. I honestly don't know that much about it.
Because, you know, the biggest problem I see in React Native world is that we have a bunch of amazing library, style libraries. We have a bunch of amazing animation libraries. I mean, by saying bunch, I mean mainly the one. But I didn't yet find a solution that would allow me to create beautifully styled and exquisitely animated applications. Like it's usually one or the other.
Why?
I don't know. That's usually the problem.
Sorry,
like
you said beautifully styled and what?
And exquisitely. I tried to use some fancy wording, but I meant like you either go into nice code for animation and then you struggle with styles, or you go with some styling library but you struggle with animations. But I never found a solution that will allow me to, like, in a nice performant way, have a cake and eat it.
So the Uni Styles and Reanimated, they work together, and like I know that because Jacek was thanking someone somewhere in the blog post that I read, thanking someone from Reanimated for helping him out make the two like work together or whatever.
So yeah, Levi says that the best thing is performance.
I think performance is like one of the newest additions to this, because it came about not from being performant, it came about from being extendable version of style sheets.
Okay, but my question here is, what do we mean when we say performant in terms of styles? Do we mean dynamically changing styles, or just rendering will be faster?
So if you have something like this, right? If you have just like inline style, and then I'm gonna do use state, right? And then it's gonna be color, set color, and then it's gonna be blue, right? And then I'm gonna do background color, right? And I don't think it works now. So let's go back to this.
Oh yeah, because you turned it off.
It will not work with Unistyles though, because this is Expo Go and it doesn't work with Expo Go.
Why? Maybe the inset shadows don't work with Expo Go as well. Maybe
Let's see.
by turning on like
Expo.
the regular Expo, you will just turn a whole new world.
I've read somewhere that it doesn't work with Expo Go. Maybe because of Nitro modules, right? We were talking about this last week, that Nitro modules are not working with Expo Go because this is like a custom C++ code. So that's why.
Right. And Ryan says you should create a development build. Maybe this would also make the inset shadows work.
Yeah, let's try that.
And I guess that now we will also learn how to create a proper development build with Expo.
Well, it's right here, right? It's packet JSON.
Oh.
No?
I mean, there is a way to like have a fast and like nice way to create Expo a development build. Yeah.
Should I just do this?
Yeah.
Here's the link. I don't know, Ryan. I don't know if you will post the link, it's gonna show up. Probably not. But let's maybe do this. No, it's gonna be still Expo Go.
No. When you go that like that, it will not use the Expo Go.
It does. That's the Expo Go, man.
No.
Okay, never mind. So I have this color.
Wait, I
here,
was right?
So if I do now, like...
Wait, show me the box shadow.
No. Give me a moment. So
okay.
If I do the touchable opacity right now, right? Should I do touchable opacity? Okay. And then on press, I'm gonna do let's do this. If color blue, set color red, else color blue, right? So each click here. Oh, why? What? It should change.
It doesn't re-render. Maybe use callback.
Use callback. Okay.
Yeah, maybe there are some weird optimizations where it kind of uses the. Sorry, I had to quickly respond on a chat and. If color equals, yeah, now it should work.
Well, it's probably because of this.
Oh, yeah,
it works.
It works.
So each press is re-rendering the. If I do the console log, will I get the logs here? How do I? Okay, I fucked it up now. I don't want to inspect anymore. And I forgot the... Okay, let's do this. So, on each click, this is re-rendering, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see the re-render. If I would do Uni Styles, we wouldn't see the re-renders because the style is changing on the native side,
Well, you
not on
wanted
the
to
React
do-
Native side.
You wanted to do the Uni Styles anyway, so. Oh, also, can you please now uncomment the box shadow? Maybe now it will work.
Sure. It doesn't.
Oh, my nemesis. Still.
So going back to the Uni Styles, right? The biggest gain that Ryan also said, or Levi,
Yeah, Levi.
told us, is that it is like performant because we don't re-render. Can you show now using Use Style?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
let's do that. But I don't want to use Expo.
Let's go to what you wanted to do. You wanted to do something with Uni Styles today anyway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can just quickly check if there are more nice news. So there are demos. There is Shadow Inset that we didn't unfortunately get to work. Enzo Manuel showcased a bunch of cool animation demos from his app.js talk. He open sourced them. By the way, Levi, is that your real name or is that just a nickname? Ignite 11 comes with support for the new architecture only, Expo SDK, a custom state management solution, and more. What is Ignite 11? We will learn that in a second.
So Ignite is a boilerplate from Infinite Red.
Oh, okay. I'm going to check that in a second. The universal way, one code base, all platforms. Creating universal multi-platform apps isn't always as easy as we might hope, but using the right tools can increase your chances of success. The article describes the benefits you can gain by using universal tools like Solito, Expo Router, or Tamagui. Did you ever use Tamagui? Levi says it's his real name. It's a common name in Brazil. It's such a dope name. Especially, Łukasz, do you like anime? Łukasz?
No, I don't.
Oh. Well, if you would ever watch any anime, I do recommend Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin. There is a character named Levi, and he is the dopest hero, like, in plenty of animes I've seen. So yeah, Levi is like just like instantly tingling my brain. Yeah, see, I knew you would know the AOT. Super good anime. Going back to that one code base, so the universal way, Metro, fast refresh stability and performance improvements. There is new React Native release candidate. Speed up your Expo builds with remote build cache. And that's a video. And Rocket Ship 75, Epic React Native packages, background images, Skia and Web GPU updates, Expo route. Okay, I opened it up in a separate tab. So let's do it like that. Łukasz, you focus on setting up the Uni Styles. And
but like let's
Ryan
do it
knows
together.
a lot of some anime as well. You need to learn some stuff about anime, my man.
Let's do it together. Let's add Uni Styles so that we can all like get familiar with it. Element is invalid. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, so let's remove this. Let's remove this, and probably I don't have something here. Maybe let's remove box shadow as well. Maybe it doesn't work. Okay.
That's such a bummer with this box shadow. I got actually excited about that.
So haven't I? But this is not Expo anymore.
Oh,
I'm using just regular React Native now.
Why didn't
And then-
didn't you use Expo, by the way?
Because I wanted to like use regular React Native, but something doesn't work for me here, and I don't know what. And okay, I'm not exporting it.
Makes sense. Why don't you just like ask your cursor to just like set up everything? It's a small app, you should be able to. Like, can't you just say, yo, like, do that, set up this project to use regular React Native?
Sorry, can you give me a moment? Export const app. Why isn't it? So import app. Oh, okay. I can import now.
Hey,
Yes.
it works.
So I have this. So I have our app working. And how do I see the logs now? So I'm opening DevTools, and then okay, I see the logs in console,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what we could do right now is we can do we will not be using touchable opacity anymore.
Oh,
No, because like on touchable opacity, when you click, it's gonna re-render anyway,
opacity,
right? Because
yeah.
like that's the like opacity. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use effect, and what we will do is we will just do set
Timeout?
set
Interval.
timeout.
Do you mean interval?
Okay, it can be interval.
I mean, set timeout will just do it
Yeah,
once.
because I was sure. So this is const.
Oh, oh, I'm so proud. Oh, the clear interval on the unmount. Oh, yes.
Okay, and I want it to be faster.
Yeah, you're just setting the red. You are not running
okay. Yeah,
on press.
you're right. So what I
Just
want
copy
to
the
do,
logic. But
actually, what I want to do is I would want to do on press.
actually, you don't, because you are going to trigger the set interval every time. I mean, you are clearing. You are making interval and clearing the interval.
Where?
Oh, right.
No,
Never
this is the
mind.
return from use effect, and this is just like.
Why does
doesn't
it
have to
work?
be used. Why does it work?
That's weird. Yeah. Yeah, because
like
you are
on
re-triggering use effect on each color change. So you're basically
Whoa, this is stupid, right?
yeah, that's why what I meant.
shouldn't be doing that.
You are basically doing set timeout that's pretending to be
Okay,
yeah, and
let's go back to this because it works.
And now it won't work because the on press is not don't worry, guys. We are professional. We are professional.
Let's not worry about this. So
and
you can see that we are triggering the state change, right?
Yes.
Okay, the re-render.
Yes.
So now let's add this. Let's add all of that.
Oh, you didn't yet add that?
Yeah, I want to do it like together.
Yeah, okay. No. I'm just kidding. You know, I'm like I support you 100%, and my heart is out there for you. If I'm riffing and I'm being mean, it's just for jokes.
Let's do it together. So now I've added this. So we've added React Native Uni Styles, React Native Nitro modules, and React Native Edge to Edge. Now
what?
add bubble plugin.
What is the edge to edge?
I don't know. Let's find out.
No. Don't worry about that. I will be Googling that here.
Oh, I know this guy, Zuntech. Effortlessly enable edge-to-edge display in React Native.
Oh, okay. So it just helps to localize the size of the device. That's interesting. Okay, it helps with the theme and
So
with
for
the
bubble
sizes.
plugin, where is my bubble plugin?
Oh my god, the guy exploded. There was like on... Okay, wait, I'm very curious. On 4th of January, February, March, October, on 24th of October, he had 62,000 downloads. And then a week later, he jumped to 300,000. So what was announced then? Was he like in some of the newsletters, or what happened there? Grzegorz said that it helps with Android 15 full screen support. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured out with like dimensions, but I also see that they help with themes. Check out this guy's on NPM, the downloads. That's amazing. He just like one day he just exploded.
You mean I should go?
Let me send you the link on the Slacks. We should have like a nice way to pass stuff like that to each other faster.
You can just use the comments. So here, right?
Yeah, look at the downloads on the right side.
Downloads.
A little bit lower. A little bit lower. Wait, why don't you have downloads?
I don't see the downloads.
What? That's weird. Wait, you opened the same thing. Okay, I'm in that case, I'm sending you the screenshot.
Maybe you should be. Are you signed in?
No, that's the weirdest part. I'm not signed in.
Okay, I'm gonna continue with this. So I've
I sent you
installed
the screenshot.
You sent me the screenshot. Okay. Let's see.
And I'm back.
Send me the...
Oh, hello, Mike.
How are you guys doing?
Mike,
do
you know a library called React Native Edge to Edge?
Yes, I know.
And
but
tell me,
you know
please,
what? You know what surprises me?
That I don't.
I will tell you later.
Well, I think
you?
this can be, Kevin. I think this can be like directly related to just Unistyles. Maybe in previous versions of Unistyles they didn't use this.
This happened 2 months ago.
Well, maybe in version of Unistyles from 2 months ago, they started including this package.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me check.
Okay, so now I have the Unistyles now, right? So I'm gonna do yarn iOS again, and then we will change the style using Unistyles and see if we will trigger the state the re-render, which from what we read we should not. Which would be like the biggest, one of the biggest like use cases for this library, performance, setting styles on the native side, not on the JS side. Kevin, are you researching if this edge-to-edge was added to Unistyles 2 months ago?
Kind of. I'm also kind of curious what Mike was surprised with. Curiosity is just like scratching back of my head, and I can't get rid of that.
You want to see something cool? Tell me what's this.
What's that?
That's the HDMI cable.
No,
No.
this looks like a bunch of hairbands.
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
A bunch of hairbands?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so good. Well, and I know that I look like a guy who wouldn't know that.
I'm trying to figure this out because I want to grow the hair, but this one is like I'm 50, so I don't know what to do. But
Yeah.
whatever. You guys know
Well,
you want to see what just dropped? I can send you a link.
sure.
Cool, yeah.
In the meanwhile, I'm gonna be like checking when they started adding the. But how can I check it actually?
You just check it here, right? So
Oh.
you
Oh
should
no
like
freaking
Who are you
way.
trying, who are you trying to blame here?
Are you real now?
real what?
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so cool. I was hoping.
What's going on?
Check the link. Check the link.
Check the link where?
Which one?
The link that Mike sent.
Oh, this is what you were referring to?
Oh yeah. What else did you send?
No. I mean, I thought you were talking about whatever was Łukasz showing on the screen.
No, I'm well, I meant couple of things. But
So this
The-
is RS Press Team.
Yes, let's see if he shipped it inside repack. Maybe he did.
Sorry guys, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like what is
exactly? Exactly. I will forward you an image, okay, to the channel.
Okay.
because this is so, does it mean that? Oh, that's so good. That's so.
Yes, it means
oh.
that after 9 years of running this company, we are finally getting our own documentation theme.
And not any theme, the dopest theme we could imagine. That's so good.
That one is good too.
Okay, I get it now. I get it now. So our documentation will start to look as our website.
Well, not only documentation, I would like my OnlyFans to look like that. I can theme it.
What
like
do you
that
mean
now.
not only documentation?
Not my OnlyFans.
Do you know that I was reading this on Twitter the other day, that on average, like I don't want to say the number specifically and the gender specifically as well, but there was this tweet. Actually, I will just skip it because maybe it was false information. But anyway, the tweet was saying that a lot of people in the US have OnlyFans account as creators, and you would be surprised. That's like more than 1/5. You know what I mean? So it's not like a small platform these days.
I mean,
Doesn't
yeah.
seem correct, right? 20% doesn't seem
Uh,
factual.
doesn't it?
No.
I don't know. It's a very weird topic because people, it's still very stigmatized. Is that the word? Like people are not willing to share information about that, and plenty of people who have those pages are very secretive about that because it tends to impact people's careers, etc. But from my point of view, you share some of your spicier photos, and people who are interested in seeing you in more spicy setups pay you for that. Like, it doesn't have to be NSFW. It's just like, in my eyes, it's like an OnlyFans. In my eyes,
How did we jump to OnlyFans from this beautiful coding?
You started.
Let's go back. sorry. I'm terribly sorry
Yeah, the exciting news is that we can now use our branding, amazing Callstack branding as an
My
This is
iOS
all
project is not building with
this is
error
all thanks to Jacob
65.
Reminder.
The error 65 is
You know,
like
the
a
solution
joke
is
in React Native community.
remove everything and install it. Oh no, you removed Expo.
No, this is not Expo anymore.
So what's the problem?
Tell me.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Pod install, remove everything, reinstall, and that's the did you plug it in of React Native? Did you run pod install? If you didn't, then remove node modules, remove pod folder, reinstall everything, should be working.
Yeah, so I'm removing node modules, then I'm gonna reinstall pods.
And that's the way. Oh, you got me so excited.
With each live stream, we are faster with setting up our project, but we are still getting those kind of debugging issues. Like Mike, when you were out, we were trying to use the latest box shadow thing from Expo.
Shadows.
Didn't work. Didn't work for us. We spent probably like 10 minutes trying to debug it, and then we just dropped it.
Yeah, even a lot of specialists from the chat didn't.
Yeah, it's like
we couldn't
live
figure it out.
debugging.
I see you guys were having a lot of fun.
Of course, we're always trying to have a lot of fun.
Honestly, today is for me like harder than usual because nothing works. Like usually at least something works, and today nothing works.
See,
it changes the colors.
Have you I don't know what's the context of this comment, but the only reason I'm showing Grzesiek on the screen is because I have a fun fact to tell about him, but I will tell it about him next time we are live. So if anybody wants to hear it, they have to join us next week. And now it's gone.
He was mentioning that about the edge-to-edge.
Yeah, the edge-to-edge, right? Łukasz, you seem to be very, very
stressed.
All in on Perplexity. I mean,
the what?
Why don't you just use the ChatGPT Deep Search or Grok? And you instead,
because I have a paid account here that I paid very little for, so I can have a separate paid account or for Perplexity on this like safe for stream browser.
I see.
Yeah, so you don't see all of my. So you see only the things that I search during the live stream here, not my personal how do I water my plants kind of things.
But it's still kind of funny because basically the question was, why are you using it? And your response was, it was cheap.
Yeah, like I paid for paid account and it was very cheap.
Well, did you buy it like, in the alley?
Okay. No, like actually there, I think maybe there still is.
How is somebody going to later caption this live stream with those things inside? I don't know. I have no idea.
We will not caption this. This is like this is a live stream. You don't really like go back to live streams 3 weeks ahead to rewatch the live stream from 3 weeks ago about React Native news, right?
But you make clips, okay? Maybe
okay, like the shorts.
Where are we? Can somebody answer me 2 questions?
Yes.
Where are we?
Now
and how far are we in the newsletter?
As a part of Newsweek of the newsletter, there is information about sunsetting Unistyles 2.0 and new Unistyles 3.0. And now we are currently setting up a fresh app. For some reason, Łukasz decided to get rid of Expo. And that's what he's paying for now.
Yes, exactly. Very clearly not a good idea.
We are installing Unistyles in order to show to the audience that running Unistyles helps you avoid re-renders because it uses styles that are on native side and not on the JS side. And overall, like, we're trying to figure out what are the actual gains of performance using Unistyles 3.0. Beside that, to give you a quick summary, we went through most of the newsletter. One of the parts of the newsletter was the inset shadows support, which failed us. I was really excited to see inset shadows on React Native app. Didn't get there. News about Expo working on new models and sheets, which is also kind of exciting. It would be nice to find an alternative for Gorham's bottom sheets, like especially supported natively by Expo. We talked about introduction of React Native RAG, which sounds kind of complicated, but opens the doors not only for better performance for LLMs on device, but also for some nice creative apps that could help you with like maybe organizing your notes or like, you know, tagging photos or stuff like that, especially if you would connect that with multiple smaller models that are able to describe the photos that you see. One of those models like Luma, I think, or something like that. There was a small model allows you to run the vision model on the... And then we wanted to go through to the Ignite 11 Bison and the universal way, one code base, all platforms. Also mentioned about new Metro and React Native release candidate, but we kind of got stuck on the on trying to figure out the Unistyles 3.0, which, by the way, are the looks like they are the crown jewel on this week's newsletter. So we kind of jumped around, but I think we hit the most newsletters points we hit during live streams ever.
Kewin, that was such a nice like summary of what we actually did.
What are the GPT-4?
You know what you should do the next time? You should take some of the screen share actually. And like when you talk about all of that, you can just like point to the things in the newsletter.
Yeah, I will. The main problem is that I kind of got very comfortable with you sharing the screen.
Everybody.
And I got really stressed because
I
something is not working with my Xcode, and it's been a while since I opened Xcode, and like I'm not gonna open Xcode on the screen because there might be like some
Android
projects. What? This is why I have you here.
The only reason.
The only reason. You guys should really get this up and running.
Yeah, but in summary, that's the today's live stream.
Nice.
We are not finished yet, but I'm quite happy with what we spoke about.
Right?
Yeah, like I'm very curious about the Unistyles because basically we played a little bit of pretend where Łukasz would try to sell me Unistyles. And
did he succeed?
I'm very interested. Especially that for some client work, we are looking for some performance improvements, and we have a bunch of animations, bunch of styles, and
I wonder, like, honestly, it is clear to me that there will be some performance, like it is like performing better than regular style sheets, even without actually measuring it, because it just bypasses the JS layer, blah, 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 all of that. I wonder how it translates into actual client performance work, how much performance you are actually losing in each project by setting the styles on the JS layer instead of the native layer. It must be negligible in most of the cases, because in most of the cases you don't really recalculate styles that often. the styles
But you can
don't.
change the
But
theme without re-rendering, right?
Yes,
but
you can
what
change the
if you
theme without
would
re-rendering. That's the selling point.
what if you would like add, because you know that's my main, that's what I was kind of saying, that there are a bunch of amazing theme libraries and like styles libraries, and there is one main animation library, but the problem is when you try to have a nice looking app that also have a bunch of animations and look great. So my question is, if you have, for instance, like, slowly fading in and out opacity and those like slow popping up animations, etc., would it work better with Uni Styles? Because would the opacity be animated also on the native side
It
instead
would.
of?
Yes.
But that does it. So because to be fair, I like never looked under the hood of Reanimated. Does the like when you are using the hook use animated styles? Does it run on the native side everything with the derived values, etc.?
You'd have to ask Krzysztof Magiera or someone from a Reanimated team how it actually works under the hood, or read the docs and code.
Maybe one day we could actually invite them to like talk about Reanimated, because I feel like often this is the library of choice for animations. So it would be nice to like
I
learn
mean,
more about.
library of choice is an understatement. It's the de facto library, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be cool. We should get him on the live stream. If there is any remote chance that anybody from his team is listening, we are saying hello to everybody and we invite you to join us next time. Uh, I wanted to show you this because when we speak of the uni styles and of the styling, a little bit of an unknown fact is, guess who created this proposal for media queries 5 years ago?
I can guess. What are the awards for guessing
Is it
correctly?
the URL?
Yeah.
So, but it's a proposal. So why didn't it go through? Because it seems like something that would be actually well, like received
If
in
you
the like the.
scroll down to the last GIF. The last GIF in the common thread is the exact. Like we had some conversation with Yannick, saying hello to him as well, and then we got this. I don't even know how to interpret it. I guess it's just a way to say thumbs up. Um,
And then I'm the evil for talking about OnlyFans.
well, this is public domain. All I can
I
say
think
is,
I
yeah.
think the media queries probably like 5 years ago weren't as needed in like regular day-to-day development in React Native as
We
they are
we
today.
had the iPhone 5, which by the way I would love to get. I might get one. Um, but or the 6 SE or whatever is the small one. But we had, that was the time when X got announced or whatever. So it was the first time Apple was starting to become a bit more invested into different dimensions, and iPad as well. But now it's Flexbox, right? I think back in the day that there was a lot of um, arbitrary numbers there as well. I'm guessing.
I'm trying to turn on my Android emulator on the second screen, and it doesn't work for me today.
Well,
Look at this.
sometimes. Oh,
Well, the app built it, but like my should I just
like
create a new
recently I had the
emulator?
weird issue of Expo was not able to install the app on my Android emulator because it didn't have enough space.
That's
was kind of
actually very common.
Yeah, but still, I was kind of surprised to see that. Like, it reminded me that, oh, they actually emulate also the space. Nice. I don't know,
Okay,
Somebody
sometimes
just
there
needs
are.
to.
What? Sorry?
No. Sorry, I got excited because You know how you have this Apple developer forum and you're like, I always felt in my life that nobody will ever answer me because they always seem to be those discussion forums that get lost. And I've been submitting some feedback on the foundational models to the team through it. And guess what? It's been less than 24 hours and I got an answer from somebody pointing me to
And
what I hope is the answer to my challenge. So I'm really really
is
excited.
it too personal to ask what's the issue?
No. The issue is, Jesus.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you twice.
The issue is I'm receiving structured output from the AI model,
Oh.
and then I need to stringify it. And they pointed me out. They pointed me towards the sample application they shared, which comes from their code samples. So I'm hoping to find it.
Looks like we have a working app in the meanwhile. With only small issues.
So we have working app and we have the state trigger,
Android
right?
rescued us.
So let's try to now replace this with
Unistyles.
Unistyles.
Did you also add the bubble config?
Yes. Yeah, the Unistyles plugin is here.
Okay.
Okay. So let's first maybe style sheets create, blah blah blah. Let's do this. This is gonna be my container. And today I'm doing everything by hand, not using AI. I don't know why.
What? Where exactly? Why? I was curious about that. Like you were so hyped up about. Oh, okay, I get it. You ran out of credits, right?
No, like, okay. So this is this, and then I have the background color change dynamically. So how do I actually change that into Unistyles?
So how do you pass a prop to a
Yeah.
generated Unistyle? Would it be by themes, maybe, somehow?
Maybe with dynamic functions.
Sounds like that, yeah.
So this
Yeah.
is theme container.
Okay, create a function and then call the style as a function.
Cool, yeah. So let's just copy this. Oh, okay. So style sheets from Unistyles.
And now
And
just
it
turn the
works.
container into a style. No, sorry, not the container. Make us like a button. Yeah.
So the container is, let's say that the container is still this. Container is still this, but the button is
We'll just have a color.
a function now. So
And remove the example because I think it's breaking your stuff. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I can see some overcomplication here.
So if I
Why not just passing the color? Just pass the color string.
Give me a moment. So how do I use it? Then styles container and this. Okay. So styles button.
Yeah, like it's being used correctly. But pass the color. You have a string
yeah.
anyway.
You are right. You are right. So this is just color.
I would be the most
And
distracting
then
AI
color
ever.
But
But honestly, I would actually love to have an AI like that. Just like a voice in my head that like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this like that? No, that's wrong. Give me the keyboard.
And then I want to do this. But I think I just lost some of the styles there. I think It didn't.
You know what's the problem? We know what is the problem here.
One of your style sheets is trying to get the theme, but no theme has been selected. Okay. What if I don't want to get the theme? Okay. Should I
just empty function declaration without?
Okay.
And you
It
removed
it is still setting. It is still doing
set the height
use
and
effect.
set the height and width.
Cool, but I'm still getting the state change.
Yes, yeah.
That is from the use state, right? But
yes.
Instead of use state, I can do use ref.
Oh, this will be working like that?
Yes.
No way this is gonna work.
So instead of this, I'm gonna do color ref current. And I'm gonna do red here.
Łukasz, I actually, right now, admire your, like, willpower not to just
Why?
tab. Because you had it like, it suggested you exactly the solution and you still didn't tab it, you wrote it yourself. I'm proud of your willpower.
Okay. So
And now you also need to pass the button color ref to the function. But I honestly doubt it's gonna work. And remove the console log color because you don't have a color anymore.
I need to console log something. So
Classic, you know what, to console log.
okay. So, and this should now this should take something. No, it should. Okay, so I'm gonna do set interval here.
Oh yeah, because it's not rerunning the. Yep.
Okay, it's still not work.
And maybe
it still doesn't work.
console log the current color ref in the onPress function. So we know that the function is actually being correctly.
The function, it is, yes. So we are getting the interval. We are not getting the style change.
Because nothing is triggering the re-render because the styles button needs to re-render in order to re-trigger the function. Like if it's not re-rendering, you are not re-triggering the function because we are using dynamic styles that are using the function and not like dynamic variables. So check out the variables in Uni Styles. Because that's also useful, but it's clearly not what we are looking for. There must be some sort of no, not the runtime. Let me also.
Yeah, I know. So dynamic functions. So like you are correct that like if we are calling this function from render, it will not get called if we are not rendering, and we are trying to avoid rendering.
Yeah, that's actually you chose actually a very, very tricky example to present, like not re-rendering.
Well, yeah, because that's one of the selling points, right? And then
apparently you can use Uni Styles runtime, but runtime have a color scheme. Maybe you could change the theme color somehow.
How to render my style sheet based on the Unistyles runtime? You can.
So I see that you would need to add themes in Unistyle registry with a name, and then dynamically call update theme function and change one of the properties on that theme in order to update the style without re-rendering the component itself.
Okay, let's do that. So we need to register team. So this is gonna be my team.
Yeah, I guess you can use like any theme, because a theme should allow you to also use like the custom variables, right?
So this is my team, and then colors is gonna be red and blue, primary, secondary.
No. Call it because we are going to be changing a variable of the theme.
Yeah, that's the my team and colors.
Yeah, but make colors and name it button, because we want to be changing the color of the the property that is assigned to variable dynamically, and not the theme.
Are you saying this colors button?
Yeah.
Okay, let's register it. So then, if you use TypeScript, you need to overlay the library's type. Okay, never mind. So then, finally, you need to register the theme. Call stylesheet configure.
And if I see correctly, you will be
I should do it from index.js probably. So I'm gonna do this, and then
I'm just quickly checking if you can, because you could use the runtime, but can you just access one variable? You can set color, you can update theme. Yeah, look, I'm sending you the how to then update this color in this theme on Slack. I even wrapped it in a nice code block.
Okay, sorry, are you sending something to me on Slack?
Yes, I sent it. Because now you need to then call Unistyles runtime, update theme.
Okay, cool. That's the next step. But right now, I registered a team here.
Yeah.
This is my team, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fine. But I don't see any of my previous...
Access it inside the style sheet create here, change it into a function with a theme, and call theme.color. Yeah, you need to wrap this one as well as a proper return.
Okay.
And now I bet you just have to call the theme.colors.button, and you will have a green button.
But it's still, look, it still doesn't work. It still doesn't like show my previous styles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean like that? Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And previously it did.
You register it, right? As a name.
I'm not sure if we should. Okay, sorry. Select team.
That's weird because we were not using any selected theme in create styles. So even disabling the theme should still properly render the component on the screen.
Yeah.
Unless I misunderstood something.
Well, if let's go back. Let's unregister it. And if I unregister it, it still doesn't work. Why is that? What's going on? So that's that.
That's weird.
Yeah, like it used to work just a minute ago.
Don't you have any like errors? Maybe it just like crashed something in the... No, it should be working.
It's just a white screen.
That's...
How about if I do the...
Unfortunately, the answer I was given is incorrect, so I'm back to square zero.
Oh, you were also AIing in the...
Yes.
Yeah, but honestly, don't you think that's weird that wait, what did you modify in index.js?
Nothing now.
Didn't you remove anything by accident or?
No. Well, that's just a regular register component. Like I'm not even configuring this anymore. And also, like, if you look here, I'm basically not using Uni Styles at all, and I don't see anything anymore.
Oh, go back to index.js. To index.js. Comment out the register component.
What?
Oh, no, sorry. Comment in the register component. What I meant is comment out the... Oh, you did comment out the Uni Styles.
Well, it shouldn't work, and it still work. Okay, let's do this. Let's...
Wait, did you also remove the example component from the Expo? Anyway, you were using named imports. That's so annoying.
Let's run it again.
Mike?
Okay. Now so this was like React Native Flux. This was React Native Flux. Now I have it working here. So let's go back.
The React Native Flux?
Flux,
yeah. Okay.
Just
but look.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I have this.
Yes.
Working.
And now use the theme.
Now I want to register the theme.
Oh yes, register the theme.
Here.
It's registered.
Now I want to go back to app.js.
And turn it into a function.
And then
to extract the theme. And you broke the convention. Yes.
Okay.
Now
this is good.
From the background color, don't use the color, use the theme that colors that primary. Actually, not primary, it was the button, but why the colors are...
Well, I don't have the... we
types.
Didn't do colors button, okay?
Yes!
It's green now. Okay.
So simple, so easy.
Now
you can do this, the thing I sent you.
Sorry, the console log is here.
Yes.
So this console log is interval. This console log is render. Okay. Now we will replace this Unistyle runtime. Okay. So in onPress, so we no longer need this. This is no longer a function.
Yeah.
This is just a simple...
It's a dope technique that we don't use right now. Don't need right now.
This is
And now we
just
don't
a
need to
simple
call it.
style.
Exactly.
Cool. And then in onPress, in interval, I'm gonna do this. So
Yes.
update theme.
To be honest,
And
name.
Which theme am I?
Name. You called it name.
My team.
Name my
what?
theme. Name is your theme, I guess.
My team is called name.
I think so.
Okay, and then colors is gonna be...
First return all of the colors and then override the button as a blue or red.
Button is going to be...
Use color ref current, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have all of the nifty logic already.
Let's see. It doesn't work. Okay, let's try to change it to yellow first.
Yes. Well, it's changed to blue.
It
Which
started
wasn't...
as blue?
No, it started as green. I don't know. I have no idea why it's blue.
This is really weird.
Save
How
it again.
about-
Save the file again.
Okay, it changed to yellow now, which is great. So now let's just remove use ref.
Just put the logic in. Yeah.
We are removing this. We no longer need ref. We
Because
just
if
care
the
about
current
theme.
If the current theme colors is
Current
red,
theme colors.
yes,
button.
yes, background is red. That's why it's blending. Don't worry.
And we started with
Green. Yeah, that's
let's start
good.
with blue. Okay, and now we don't see the renders,
Yes, and it's not
and
increasing.
it
the amount.
works. Whoa! It took
is-
us like 30 minutes, but it works now.
You wanted to show a very complex and specific example, because
But I'm really like surprised and proud of you for like finding this API out like on the live stream, like in real time, and make it work. That's fucking amazing, man. Like, yeah, it's great.
you know, you say it's amazing. I say it's my fucking skill.
Did you use AI or did you just like
No.
read through the docs?
I used brain.
Okay,
Because
that's great.
we-
Is that
because
like
we-
a new version of some AI or what?
No.
Okay.
Look. Like maybe some people will be interested in like skill, because in the skill I used. Let's call it like that, because when you go through documentations, you have a shit ton of information, and most of that you aren't gonna need, right? So what we knew we want to achieve. We wanted to change the color of a variable, right? So I went to the documents. I went through the references, and there is like dynamic functions. We checked that. We knew it's not that. Then we have theming. We know that we might use that, so it's in the back of our heads. And then we have variants. So I went through that, but it also looks like something that you do with the config. And then only thing that seemed interesting was the Unistyles runtime.
Yeah.
And I managed to find that, because I'm still not happy with that solution, because this basically...
What is the setters? So which one did we use? We use Unistyles run the update team. So
Yes, and I'm still not happy with that solution, because we basically update a whole theme. We recreate a whole theme with each of those like ticks. So I really doubt that it's super like more performant than just re-rendering a component. But it's a very like what I was looking for is if we can change just one variable of the.
You say that, right? Because like you have this image in your head that this is Redux. It looks like Redux store that you are updating the whole store, and then will be like a bunch of different components registered to that store that will re-render. But we know from this example that we changed the whole theme, and our only component that is relying on the theme is not re-rendering. So
Yes.
this heavy it looks like a heavy operation, but it all takes place in the native side. So it's not that heavy at all.
I mean, it depends. It kind of depends, because I know that the rendering and switch happens on the native side, but we are still creating a theme object that is being passed. So my question is this theme object being created on the JS side and then still stringified or in any other way sent to the native side? Because it still will be more expensive, because we are creating here more variables that would be used if we would just re-render a component. I think I'm pulling the information out of my ass right now, but I'm just not fully I mean, this is a very tricky scenario. Like, how often do you have situation like that? But I would be much more happy if we could just change one property of the theme. And I see that it might be actually possible, because I see that on this Unistyles runtime object, you also have access to a couple of different things, like color scheme, theme name, but it doesn't look like you get access to a specific variables. You can access some plugins, some themes, some colors of the status bar, navigation bar, etc. But it looks like you can't.
Well, you can either update theme or set the theme, right? So if you have pre-made themes, like the whole themes, you can not change like just one variable on that object, one field on that object. You can change like the whole object.
Okay, so I know what you mean, and I would agree actually, because this is kind of a problem of like the big O notation, right? Like how performant a solution is, and for one button, it's not going to be performant. But if we would be actually changing the theme for a whole app, and the whole app would be like blinking right now, then I guess that changing the theme would be more performant than re-rendering whole app with each tick.
Well, I think it always is, because the most of React Native, like React issues with performance, is about setting the state, is about re-rendering unnecessarily. Yeah. So like this is basically what this does, and what Reanimated does is it is bypassing the re-rendering of React. It is just doing the work on the native side.
Oh, and by the way, because I feel like an ass, I really appreciate your compliment. Thank you very much. And I wouldn't be able to do that if you wouldn't take the harder part of like screen sharing and actually coding.
No, I mean, this is great. This is exactly what I was trying to accomplish. Like, we can also like add TypeScript support. I saw something like that on the documentation as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest pain points in most of the libraries we use. Like even if you find a specific library that fulfills your one specific need, it's often not supporting the TypeScript, which is...
This is supporting annoying. TypeScript.
Oh, no. This, of course, it should. It's a big it's a huge library, right?
If you use TypeScript, you need to override the library's type. Okay. So where do I put this?
I guess it would be some like types.d file. No. That's with it should be in declarations. So create a new file with .d.ts, like custom.d.ts. No, custom.d.ts, because this is basically a file with custom type declarations.
Okay, and then I should like add this somewhere?
No, it should automatically be able to pick up.
Okay, it did, yeah. And then team has any type. Why?
Theme has any type.
Because I need to type of my team and I didn't import the my team.
Oh.
Now it's gonna work, right?
Yep.
Yes, but now
you are missing all of the other colors.
So
spread the colors. Current team colors, spread them.
Thank you. Okay. Now it works.
Nice.
I don't know, guys. What do you want to do next? Should we just wrap up on this, or do you want to discuss something else?
This hopeless AI part, but it looks like I'm out of luck.
See, that's why. Nah, that's a.
I mean. Okay, so here is the issue. I will show you to the camera because I'm just too lazy to screen share. See this structure here?
Yes.
JSON.
It is not a JSON. It is a debug description or something like this is what a stringified version of a struct looks like. The problem is I cannot seem to find this API. If you render this inside Swift UI component, it will render a nice JSON because the Swift UI that takes it will be able to parse it. What I was looking for is a way to return JSON string so I can send it back to React Native for validation if the structured output was correct. Now, I cannot seem to find a solution. So what I think I'll do is I'll just write a custom parser that will parse this weird string.
If you could exactly tell me what's the problem. So the problem is that the API you are using on the Swift side is not returning you the proper JSON.
Yeah, there is no, it just returns this string that I showed you, which is JSON-ish, but you would need...
it's returning a struct, right?
Yes.
Isn't there any Swift function that allows you to JSONify a struct?
No, as long as it... Yes, but the struct needs to conform to encodable, for example. And the problem is the generated output, which is an instance that I'm getting from the model, contains inside itself a property called value, which is private. And that private value property is a generated JSON. Now, I can get the generated JSON, but I cannot get through reflection, but I cannot get... it's not conforming to encodable anyway.
Oh wow, reflection. That's a word I didn't
hear
in a long
time. You know why?
time.
Because from the Swift perspective, what I'm trying to do is weird. Why do I need a JSON string? That makes no sense, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm supposed to use it from the Swift UI. That's why the team didn't get my question, but I think I'll just build this parser and fuck it.
Yeah, but because if you are getting a struct, can't you just in that case enumerate over the struct and just parse it into a just one small function would enumerate through the properties with the values and then create a JSON out of that? Because the struct is basically an object, right?
I'm hoping that this is possible. I don't want to use reflection or something like that, but I'm hoping that there is a parser that can do this. I mean, theoretically speaking, I could use reflection and parse it myself, which I may want to do, but...
What is the reflection just taking the values out of the... Okay, it's very dumb to write just reflection in Google without any other context. Reflection in Swift. What is the reflection in Swift? Common programming language feature enables inspect and work. It was named differently in Java. I think it wasn't reflection, it was...
In Java, it is reflection still.
Also reflection.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically how I think about reflection in Java is accessing the fields of class instance that I don't have like direct access to.
I basically think about it as object that prototype.
Yeah.
That keys.
Yeah, more or less, right?
Okay, so they say they just
Underscore
told me,
underscore unsafe.
they just
Yeah.
told me this is not possible. So I am being asked to file bug report and submit the ID so they can track it internally. So I guess it is a limitation. For now, I'm sure I could do recursive reflection, which will be super slow, or somehow try to parse it, but I don't know if regex will be faster or what.
But wait. And because anyways, you want to do all of those operations on structured output on the Swift side or on the...
No. So I
Then
have
fuck it. Stringify it and send it to the JS
I need
side. You
to
have more
parse
options
it
there.
back to a JS object inside, right? Which is fine. I can
Yeah.
do that, but
You have
still
more...
means I need to write the parser for that.
Does it? Because it's only wrapped in a struct like this thingy, right? So once you extract it from the struct like wrapping, you get a perfect JSON. Wait, what did you do, Łukasz?
So I stopped sharing the screen because I have to drop, but you're welcome to start sharing the screen with whatever you're talking about and like just show it here. I'm gonna drop now and leave you here. So thank you guys for
No, don't drop
amazing.
it. We should all go. We should all go.
No, you should stay. You should stay and debug this. You should find yourself in my position when I was trying to make Unistyles work and box shadow work and nothing worked. And then Kewin, from all of the people, Kewin helped me out,
was that supposed to
navigate
mean?
all of my issues and then make it work. So
What was that
like
supposed
I
to...
feel like I'm not needed on the live stream at all.
Such a backhanded observation from all of the people I know. This asshole.
I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking.
I know.
I'm already pretty tired after 3 hours of live streaming.
I would suggest.
But Łukasz, that's my promise. On next stream, which by the way, lovely people in the comment sections.
Wednesday.
Next stream
Wednesday
will be next week. I will prepare to be able to share my screen as well. So Łukasz, if you, I mean, we can figure it out after the stream. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Thank you all of the lovely commentators for participation. Commentaries, exactly. You brought a lot of life to the conversation. You brought a lot of interesting topics. So thank you for that. If you are still with us, and I'm looking here, Patrick Arminio, if you are here with us, we will talk about the legend state most probably next week, because I'm kind of curious about that. And we wanted to add the legend state inside the app with Uni Styles just to learn it, to figure it out. What?
Why though, right?
I don't know why. Why not? Why not?
Well, we've added Unistyles
last week,
to the
last
app
week
that
you made rotating pizza. That's the reason.
we did that. We did add Unistyles today to the boilerplate that I created last week that has the React Native Skia in it.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll prepare working examples for the next week, so it will be smoother, better. We
will not get this up and running, but
we're also learning here. So give us a break. And anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Wait! I have.
I'm unable to close it.
I have a perfect thing for the closing.
Will you do the screen share?
No, put it up. It's the docs from Jacob. There's kind of buggy because the scroll doesn't work for me, but
Honestly,
you
people,
sent me something
I
on.
wouldn't. It would be nice to see like, yes, we did enjoy, or no, we didn't enjoy, just for my ego.
Yeah, that's great. Like I love how our documentation is in new style now. That's great. Can we show how it used to work? Oh, I think we can.
How it used to look.
Yeah.
is it even?
Let's just.
You have to use JS Archive, Web Archive. I mean, this one is actually pretty
No,
good
that's
as
the
well.
one. Because like this one is the new one.
Thank you, Jakub. That's very lovely.
It's beautiful. Like the job Jacob has done is like, I love it. I'm surprised he was able to do it so comprehensively. I have no idea what's inside, but it's looking good.
Is it all based on Docusaurus or something?
It's RS Press.
RS Press, okay.
Yeah. And it's I've been in Callstack for a couple of rebrandings now.
How many? This one is the best.
This one is third, I think.
Could be.
And I've been working for 3 years, so it's basically like one rebranding a year now.
No, Kevin. It's not the third one in 3 years. It's the second one. The special.
Sorry. Third branding, I see. Second rebranding. So I saw.
Łukasz, the layout has broken again.
I know. You know why?
But I do agree that the current one is the cleanest one, the nicest for reading articles. So everything that I think we now wanted to represent is beautifully encapsulated in the new branding.
See, this is the reason. Let's make it looking so good, so that we all are dying to take part in this live stream.
Like task for the next live stream is to add name tags with like maybe X blah blah blah. I don't know the words. Yeah, thank you, Łukasz. I'm not sure if you can hear us anymore.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh,
thank
he
you.
He already dropped. Okay.
Yeah, he already dropped. So
let's change the layout to thank you. Put some music up for Ola, and then we'll just.
You are talking to Łukasz.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. He's just.
Okay, because I have no control over anything. Okay. In the basement like a troll.
Okay, I'm going as well. Bye.
I'm here because I don't know if you are able to end the stream.
I'm not.
Stream without me.
I'm not even.
Yeah.
So just
okay.
like.
I can just.
That's the end now. That's the end now.
Who's Kevin? I don't know. I'm not here. What is this?
But I think everyone still hears us.
Yes, I know, but I'm not here on the.
Yeah, that's the end music.
Oh, with actual like voiceover. That's dope.
Beautiful.
So everyone can hear.
I'm gonna mute all of you right now.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Wait, quick thank yous for people.
You wanna stream some ads?
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Levi. Thank you, Grzegorz. Thank you, Jakub. Thank you, Hemant. Thank you, Serhi. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you. I hope I didn't skip anyone, but oh yeah, thank you, Patrick and Brahma Hadi. Thanks all. It was awesome, and hear you next week on Wednesday. Bye bye.